Tyler, just can you kind of take us into the preparation for your start in 2 days and just adjusting to the time and how you've been kind of making progress with that?
Yeah, I felt good pretty early on. We got used to the time change and like slept on the flight, and they gave us some like pointers and all that stuff. As far as like actual preparation, it's just normal. It's just like 2 extra days, but same normal like bullpen lift on the normal days, and then just 2 extra throw days. So I feel good.
Other questions for Tyler? We'll go to Bill over here to your right, Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler, when the front office talks about acquiring you, they sound like day traders getting a stock just as it's about to explode. Do you feel like you're in that point in your career where you're really ready to take off?
I hope so. I mean, I feel really good. It's like the year after or whatever, like the Tommy John, like pitching last year and then coming into this year and then just working with the coaches and strength guys with the team. I feel like I'm in a really good spot right now. So I think just ironing out stuff early in spring, and then just kind of keeping it on a consistent routine throughout spring. I'm in a good spot for sure.
Go to John up front on your left, Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler. Congratulations. How far back does your friendship go with you, Darvish, and what's that relationship like?
So we have the same agent, and so it's been a lot of like I guess like back and forth through Joel mostly, and like I've texted him and like asked him questions, and he's very like a pitching guru and stuff like that, and especially with grips. So just kind of picking his brain with that stuff, and yeah, probably a while. I don't know how long ago, but quite a while ago, I'd say, because he's been with Joel for quite a while. So yeah, long time.
And then a question you've probably gotten before, but how many Dodger opening day memories do you have of being at Dodger Stadium, being actually in the ballpark for an opening day?
I don't think I've been to an opening day. I would just go like randomly throughout the year, and then obviously watch them all on TV and stuff. But I have a lot of good memories and like watching. I was a little older, but like watching Kershaw and stuff like that, and then just watching as a little kid. I don't know like the specific matchups, but I just remember the feeling and just like even on random days walking throughout the ballpark and stuff, just kind of like that. I don't know. Even just going back now, like the nostalgia just kind of floods in, and it's a really cool feeling. Thanks. Yeah.
Other questions for Tyler? We'll go up front to your right, Tyler.
Tyler, a couple months ago, we talked about how you're such a big fan of Kershaw growing up, and you made 8 consecutive opening day starts, and you're making your first. Have you talked to him at all about going into the start, and just how excited are you about the possibility of being his rotation mate later this year?
Not specifically about the start, but I've talked to him a good amount, just whenever I see him in there and chatting him up and stuff. And I'm sure as the course of like the season goes on, we'll talk a lot more. Yeah.
Other questions for Tyler? I'll go to Juan to your right, Tyler.
What have you kind of thought of the atmosphere here at the ballpark, and how excited are you to kind of pitch in front of these people here?
It's been awesome. The atmosphere's been great. It's been very electric. Like I like the in-between inning, or like while the inning's going on, like the songs and the sounds and stuff is really cool. I hope we can adopt that back home. It's great. It's been really cool. The dome. I'm kind of used to like the dome too, I guess. The kind of like a similar feeling with like the Trop. But it's been awesome so far.
Other questions for Tyler? No, Chris.
Joe had mentioned that when you were talking to him that you liked how the mound looked. You hadn't really gone out there, but you liked it visually. What are you looking for, or what are you seeing kind of from where you are in the dugout and kind of getting that take on just the feel of everything?
I think I just like looking at like a flat footing and then like a gradual slope, like the steeper and taller the better, and it just seems like it's got like a good footing and then like a nice transition down. So yeah, it's good. It's a nice mound. Yeah.
Do a couple last ones. John on your left, Tyler.
Tyler, I'm curious, what is unique about the way that the Dodgers coaching staff prepares you for a start? You're about to experience it for the first time for a regular season game, but Mark and Danny, just what a unique team they are.
Yeah. I'll know more, I guess, like as we'll do the scouting report and stuff day of. As far as like preparation beforehand, it's been relatively similar. I think like in like a physical way, it's been, I think if they come to you with any sort of like information or data, it's been very like steel-manned and thought through. So I think it's one of those like they're not going to overload you with a lot of stuff, but everything they do give you is like high value. So I think they do a good job about like they simplify really well, and then they give you like good bits of information, like meaningful, good stuff. Yeah.
Anything else for Tyler? We'll finish with Fabian.
Yeah, Tyler, everyone kind of talks about the expectations of this team. Like, but do you feel that at all, especially for an opening day start, for like setting the tone for a season at all?
Repeat it. I didn't hear what
Everyone
you
kind
said.
of talks about like the expectations about this team. Like, do you feel that at all, especially for like an opening day start, getting things off on the right foot at all, or anything like that?
I think I'm pretty good at like compartmentalizing. I can never say that word, but I think I'm good at like trying to just keep like the routine of a starter's, I think, really helpful in that like each day is its own day, and then you go to the next start and the next start and the next start. And I think if I start to like, oh, I have to do good for this many starts or this and that, it kind of, I learned that like pretty early on in the minor league. So yes and no, like we're a great team and there are high expectations, but I think that's kind of a blessing. And I think I'm just good about like going from start to start to start. I guess ask me at the end of the year. I don't know. I think right now though it's very like, it feels very similar to like a normal baseball year. And I'm sure as the season goes on and things happen, everything will be different. But for the most part, it feels just like another baseball season.
All right, Tyler, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
So Dave Roberts will be coming down, and we're working on another potential guest as well. All right, we'll get started with Dave, who has the first question. I'll start up front to your right, Dave.
Dave, the Gavin Stone's numbers this spring have been really strong, but what just stood out most about how he's looked pitching, how he's kind of, gotten over some of the stuff early last year and where he's at going into the season right now?
I think the thing that stands out most with Gavin is his maturity. I think when you see a young player, you can tell, things speed up. And, now it just seems like things have slowed down for him. And then as far as on the mound, the misses are the right misses. There's much more consistent execution. And the stuff is holding. His fastball touched 96 tonight. He held velocity all night and worked ahead in the count a lot. His changeup was very good, and even threw some breaking balls. So just across the board, really, it's just good to see him build on last year, take it into the spring, and ready for the season.
Left center aisle, Fabian.
Yeah, Dave, before last season, it seemed like Stone was the guy of these young pitchers that was going to be the most ready to go. He's the first one that was up. Like, how important is it now to have him sort of throwing the ball the way he has, especially when you already have Bobby coming off the season he did last year?
It's great, and this is something that player development, the guys in PD talked about quite often, and talking about the makeup of Gavin and also the stuff. And at the major league level, we just didn't see it consistently. There was a lot of arm side misses and non-competitive pitches, and he put on some weight this winter and looks like a major league pitcher. So it's really credit goes to Gavin, certainly, but everyone throughout the organization.
Dave, we've talked about the kind of the infield defense a lot this spring, but what have you seen out of Max at third and the play he had today?
It was a heck of a play. Really hit hard off the bat to his right and making a strong throw over there. So, we've talked all offseason about the shape that he came in, and he's just moving really well to both his left and right. And given how he played last year defensively, he has a lot to prove. And he's working hard every day, he and Dino. And tonight was a highlight for me watching him make that play.
Go to the second row on your left, Dave.
Dave, any Korean player that stuck out for you during this game? And also the guys who struck out the side in the sixth inning, they're actually both teenagers, 18 years old. I don't know if you were paying attention to those guys who's striking out three guys in a row.
The one right-hander who came in, I was talking to James Outman, and he said that, the ball just had tremendous life to it. And he pitches at the top of the zone, and I think he was 91, but it played up to 95, 96. And, I was really impressed with the arms first and foremost. I think there's a lot of arm talent from that team over there, that Korean team over there. The lefties, the righties, the command that they had. Our scouts like the second baseman, and so just the way his body moves. There's some life to the bat, and defensively made a nice play out there. So, there's good baseball players all over the world, and so this is just another chance for us to see them and them to kind of match themselves against us.
We'll stay over there with John and Dave.
Thanks, Dave. With Bobby Miller, in what ways is he a more complete pitcher than he was even when last season ended?
With Bobby, I think one part is the way his mound presence, first off, has gotten considerably better. He's much more under control of handling his emotions. He's appreciating where tonight he wasn't really good at getting ahead of hitters, but typically he does. And as far as the stuff, the slider that he's developing is more swing and miss. He's more confident in throwing his curveball, and the changeup has really come. And I think in the minors he could just kind of overpower guys with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, but I think now he has a lot of different weapons to attack hitters.
Thanks, Dave.
One last one for Dave. If there's anything, we'll finish up with Jack right here.
An important one. Tyler said he'd love to see the during the inning cheering come to Dodger Stadium. Are you in favor of that? And just what has that been like to experience in these two games?
It's certainly a different environment. I don't think they knew in left field that the game had ended. The cheering kept going on, but I think it's great. You know what? It's one of those things where we don't get a chance to experience other cultures of baseball, and so to have the cheerleaders out in left field and right field or down the lines, something different. But we'll see what we can do if we can make that happen.
All right, Dave. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
And I believe we have Gavin Stone with us. What's up, Gavin? How you doing? Good to see you. All right, Gavin, great game tonight. Appreciate you stopping by. First question for Gavin. Start with Bill to your right, Gavin.
Yeah, for those of us following the team, it sure looks like you're the fifth starter to open the season. Have they said anything to you? Do you know what your status is going to be when the games start counting?
Yeah, Doc told me today that I was going to be the fifth starter, so I'm incredibly thankful for that and the opportunity that they're giving me. Very appreciative, and look forward to taking advantage of it.
Other questions for Gavin? We'll go to Juan.
Just overall, how good did that feel? Obviously, you put in a lot of work over the offseason, and given the season you kind of had last year, how good is it to kind of see these results and being named the fifth starter?
Yeah, it's awesome. It just goes back to the work that I put in the off season, fine tuning some stuff, gaining some more control, gaining some more confidence, better mound presence, and then you tie all that together, and hopefully it's a good recipe, and hopefully we can ride it all year long.
Second row on your left, Gavin. John.
Thanks, Kevin. John Morosi. When you talk about your repertoire, how different is it now than it was a year ago?
Yeah, last year I had 3 pitches coming into the season, just about all the way up to about halfway through the season, and then obviously you have some bad outings here and there, and then you fine tune some stuff and you change some things, and you end up adding some pitches and adding some pitches that work, that help your other pitches, and so I just think that was a big help.
In what way is there a lot of trust that you have in the player development structure of the Dodgers that when they come to you with some suggestions that you take them in and obviously you thrive with them?
Yeah, we have great people, all the way up from low A, the pitching coaches in low A, all the way up to, Mark and Connor. We have great guys, and they bring in great guys and great people, and they all know what they're talking about, and it's very evident. And so all those guys have really helped me a lot.
Other questions? We'll go to Fabian, the fourth row there on your left.
Yeah, Gavin, you talked a lot about the spring, like getting that confidence back. How long did it take to sort of rebuild that confidence, sort of have the spring that you have had so far?
I don't know, honestly. I mean, I think being around family, being back home, helps a lot. Just kind of calming down, settling the nerves, being in a I guess a familiar spot. But also just, the work that I put in the off season was very diligent, and I had the right people in my corner, and they really helped a lot.
Other questions for Gavin? Am I missing anybody? All right, Gavin, congratulations on the great night and the good news.